Hi, welcome back. Sorry, I took a kind of a hiatus from posting videos for probably about a couple weeks, partially trying to um, basically deal with my own issue of being positive, um, trying to manage my stress level. So I kind of took a pause. And that's going to be the overall theme of this particular video. For those who are new, thank you for coming. The purpose of my channel is basically to share with you the journey that I'm undertaking on battling stage 4 breast cancer. My journey in sharing is going to consist of some of the techniques that I'm using, alternatives, different subject matter that people are going to be dealing with, like researching their cancer, uh, dealing with financial issues, handling diet, um, the supplements that are out there, traditional medications and treatments, and in particular, what I've come across, what I've actually been through, and also covering some of the alternatives. I am thinking of setting up a newsletter um, to kind of discuss more in detail the supplements and alternatives that I'm taking, dosages that I'm taking, and the results that I've had. Now, I will say that I was on a research trial. It was in late fall. That research trial, unfortunately, the numbers just went up dramatically. So I will say that even though I do take kind of the traditional medications and stuff, I will be upfront about the fact that I do believe that in battling cancer, I think that looking at alternatives that have been proven to be beneficial, they're not like snake oil or some wacky thing out there, like put your head on your hand on your head and rub your tummy a couple times or something like that. But actual real um, uh, tested alternatives that other countries are actually implementing, and some of the successes that they've had in addition to the successes that I've had. So since I was taken off the research trial, I was on it for like 2 months. Fortunately, they took me off of it pretty quickly after you could see this dramatic increase in tumor markers. And then there was a pause for about a month, maybe, on the medication, because we were trying to determine, do I need to be off of it? Do I need, or basically, what would be the next step? My doctor, she's great. I have great medical staff. So they look at determining where things are, potentially where things could be, and what would be next steps. They're always looking a couple steps ahead. So looking at alternatives in traditional medication, of course. But during that time, what I did was I researched further some of the alternatives. I really honed in on also altering my diet. Again, the diet being reducing carbs and reducing sugars and going to more natural sugars like um, basically your fruits, honey, maple, things like that. I also use monk fruit instead, and I don't really have a whole lot of sugar, so that's good. I will say I've lost a little weight, but nothing that would be considered alarming at this point, so that's good. Now, since my being off of the research trial, the numbers have continued to dramatically go down between 30 and 40%. So I'm really happy about that. I'm hoping that my next tumor markers, I think is going to be mid-April. I'm hoping that those also illustrate that same trajectory down. And that would show how effective not just the traditional medication, which is tamoxifen right now that I'm on, is, but also really focus on the alternatives. I had to up one of my alternatives I was taking because I wasn't taking enough of it, and I learned that by just calculating things out. And again, I'm thinking of this newsletter because it's easier for me to share more details. I am concerned about sharing too many details on alternatives here on YouTube because of the restrictions that it seems to be placed. But it would be nice to have access to something more concrete, and perhaps other people can benefit from learning about dosages, because I think a lot of people have questions about dosages, and they also have questions about access to different supplements that are they're available, but there's information where they make it seem like it's not available. Well, and it depends on how you look at it and how it's packaged. Basically, it's the packaging. But anyways, so that's coming. I think it's going to take me some time to design the newsletter, and I probably will post it on X. I may try to provide a link from the YouTube channel to an X channel to access this newsletter, and because I think it would be beneficial. And hopefully I can monetize everything. Again, I'll be upfront. It would be nice to be able to have some monetization to help supplement my income to pay for this expensive endeavor. Battling cancer, and I knew this when I was taking care of my parents who had cancer, is very expensive and very taxing. So for those who don't have cancer, I cannot emphasize enough that it would behoove you to look at your lifestyle, your life choices, your diet, your exposure to different things, even down to your clothing, your activities inside and outside, what you're cooking with. It would behoove you to really look at that and explore it, because it's health is wealth. I just can't emphasize it enough. Sadly, some of us are prone to cancer. I think that in my case, because so many people in my family had cancer, I think it was just a matter of when, even with, I was generally a pretty healthy person. So it was somewhat of a shock that I got cancer when I did, and how aggressive it was, and also the severity of it. But going back to the subject matter that I wanted to kind of cover, beyond just the update of my cancer. Well, actually, I wanted to also cover the fact that I had a lump here that has since then it's actually gone away. So that was on the side of my chest here. And fortunately, it was an area of concern that the doctors were watching, but it's gone away. It's not detectable. Now, I do have something that I noticed about 3 weeks ago that popped up about here. It was bigger than it is now. So I'd say it's gone down about half. Again, extremely good signs. I'm very honest with myself about, okay, is the cancer growing or is it not? And this one was something that I was kind of monitoring, and I can, definitely feel that it's reduced. So I'm positive in the fact that the efforts that I've been making have been very good on combating cancer. I also want to stress that there have been people that have reached out to me just through family and friends that basically either they have family and friends that have been recently diagnosed or who are battling cancer, and they've asked me what I'm doing because they know how severe, I have stage 4, not 3 or 2. So I shared with them some of the alternatives. They've been taking them, and I will say that some of them now, in addition to their treatments, they've also added supplements to their combating cancer, and some of them are totally cancer-free right now. And sometimes it'll work for people and others it won't, and it might be in conjunction with more traditional things like chemo and radiation or surgery. Surgery tends to have a really good positive outcome if you are a good candidate for that. But anyways, going back to the keeping spirits up, which is the overall theme for this video, I believe that humor is a significant factor. My uncle had been diagnosed with stage 3 when I was a kid, stage 3 Hodgkin's, and he was able to have his cancer go in remission. He stayed in remission for over 10 years. And he attributed to his keeping a sense of humor. He had a friend that would drag him out of the house. They'd go flying. That was one of his activities that he enjoyed, but he could no longer actually fly the plane because they have restrictions on due to your health and stuff. If you can't pass a physical, even if you have a pilot's license and stuff, there's some restrictions there, I guess. But anyways, they go up flying. They'd share a bunch of laughs. And my uncle, he had a great sense of humor. He could have been a stand-up comedian. And that stuck with me. So when I was first diagnosed, I made it a point to reduce the exposure I had to social media, the negatives in social media, reduce the exposure to news, especially because it's so negative, and I just, it was not helpful for me. And definitely adding humor. So watching funny movies, funny shows, old shows, and also reducing stress. Finding ways to reduce stress. I enjoy working outside, doing gardening, course, I deal with fatigue, so that can be, a challenge on trying to get things done. And I have to be forgiving with myself, say, okay, I can do this, that, on my list, but, if I get tired, I take a break. Or I just say, okay, I'm done for the day, and be okay with it, and say, okay, tomorrow's a new day, and just, move on. The other thing is your spiritual support. So for those who enjoy going to church or part of church groups or whatever, or just their own spiritual journey, I think is important in incorporating that. And keeping positive. So I tend to listen to positive podcasters. In other words, I wouldn't say necessarily, positive in the sense that it's overt, but they offer unique perspectives on improving your life. So growing your own food, how to increase the yield, more natural alternatives, alternatives to, they offer solutions to making your life better. That's kind of what I mean by positive. So I regularly tune into those. Now, I still continue with some of the social media and everything, but I definitely incorporate more of natural solutions to things, and listening to even wacky type of subject matter to take my mind out. Like if I feel stressed, I might watch something about Bigfoot. I know it's kind of funny and weird, but it's interesting to listen to people's stories. It's almost like listening to fiction, or even listening to an audiobook, or for those who enjoy reading. Again, keeping up with some of the hobbies that you enjoy is positive. And I think that people need to do that and not get into a rut where they just stop everything and get stuck, where they keep focusing on the cancer and how bad they're feeling, but to focus on, okay, trying to implement things that could help them manage that struggle that you have. Because I know the struggle of just the worry and the stress and insomnia, worried about finances. I think that is a huge one, because health is wealth, and cancer is it's a big business. It's very taxing, and so it would be beneficial to really focus on how to improve your mental state. There is some books out there that talk about that sometimes they've been able to solve their cancer just from positive thinking and the techniques involved on positive thinking. I won't go into those techniques here, because I would have to do more research on that to be able to offer you a more concrete or more specifics on some of the techniques involved, because I'm kind of tackling it from a higher level of all encompassing, because right now I'm just going over kind of overall subject matter and not deep diving into specifics like those kind of techniques. But again, you can share with me and share with others maybe the list of funny movies that you enjoy, maybe even funny shows, even jokes perhaps, that might be kind of light. and everyone has their own strange sense of humor. I have a dry sense of humor, personally, but so I'm not one that personally that will offer an entire joke. I usually have quick comebacks and things like that. But so anyways, that's it for today. And there, thank you again for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, try to keep a good sense of humor out there, even when things are really stressful. And I know in my life I have to do that, and I have to sometimes take a pause and try to lighten my spirits up. Today I am a little kind of it's kind of a mixture. I'm up a little bit, and then I feel kind of down because I'm dealing with a lot of fatigue. So so these are techniques that I'm going to be doing, and be kind to yourself is so important. So anyways, please like and subscribe. Again, I'm trying to grow this channel. It's been a little bit slow on the growth factor. So I will be posting another video here shortly. And that's kind of more of the theme of dealing with the financial side of things and how to, ideas on how to tackle that and manage it. So, again, these are just high-level ideas, and in this awful battle that's really difficult. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and talk with you later. Bye-bye.